Hi guys, welcome back to another week of Bursa Watchlist YouTube video. So as usual, I will start with the indexes run through first, a brief one. Then I will go on to the watch list that I have. I will start with the 10 picks of mine and then followed by whichever other stocks that I have discovered, which is interesting lah. Okay, so we go over to the indexes. So we look at the Nasdaq index first. Doesn't to me, I don't really feel it's that good, because if you look at the candle over here on Thursday, it's actually quite bad, but it rebounded quite well, and then the next day it actually gapped up. I think on good economic, no, there was no economic report. This was the economic report day on jobless claims. Then after that, the next day it gapped up, but it's kind of like a long week above lah. Okay, so we will have to see what happens next week. But judging by what has happened over the past few weeks, it looks more like it's on a downtrend lah. Okay, so we'll have to see how it turns out the following week. On the Dow Jones, I think what I saw as an head and shoulders is still ongoing. Okay, you can just see it over here. Okay, it's still on. Okay, for the S&P 500 is same. This one is a bit more obvious. Okay, I mean the stock won't come tumbling down lah. Okay, you will always have some green days and some red days. And then for the Russell 2000, this is my previous drawing. I think it's going to happen. Okay, this is even more obvious. Russell 2000 is more of the 2000 smaller cap indexes. Okay, similar to Bursa small cap index. Okay. For the FKLI, which is the KLCI futures index, I don't think it's going anywhere, but it seems to be forming lower lows at the moment. Lower highs. You can see it's slowly going lower. I'm not so sure whether it's elections related or not, which caused a sell down. But it doesn't seem like it's going on a higher high lah. Okay, or even a higher low for that matter. But it is good. It's still kind of an uptrend. Then it's kind of like building a base here until it kind of broke down last week. Okay. For the small cap index, pullback is still happening. The candles don't look that favorable. Okay, this is the breakout point, the previous breakout point, which is 15809, about 15800 this area. Okay, it gapped up the next day. It didn't really close the gap lah. Okay, almost close only. Okay, you can see there is a gap over here. Okay, almost close only, then it continued going up. It may come back down here, close the gap, and also retest the previous resistance, turning into support before going up. Okay, but as of now, looking at the trend, it is actually uptrend lah. Okay, you can see it's kind of going up. Okay, and this is also quite a long-term downtrend now. Okay, from April 2021, it has been going down, literally not forming a new higher high. It has been lower high all the way. So we wait to see lah whether it's able to break through or not. Hang Seng Index is a bit hard to see now. I think there was no trading on Friday due to very heavy rain, if I'm not wrong. I think it's called black rain or something. So there's no trading. But the candle on Thursday was horrible. It's just very bad lah. Okay, a very long red candle. And then on China's part, it's quite similar to Hang Seng lah, a very long red candle on Thursday, and then on Friday it's kind of neutral lah. Okay, not too bullish, not too bearish, kind of neutral. So my general comment on the market is actually just to be cautious lah. Okay, I don't see a very bullish trend or a very bearish trend. It's kind of like within a few weeks you will know which direction market is supposed to go to lah. Okay, so now we will start with the watch list. The first 10 stocks will be my top 10 lah. Okay, I wouldn't say it's better or worse than the other, but it's just personal preference lah. Okay, so before I start the watch list review, the disclaimer for this video, nothing in this video is a buy or sell call. Okay, it's just totally my own personal opinion and for educational purposes. Okay, if you require a buy or sell call, please seek your remisier. Okay, please look for your remisier for any buy or sell call. Okay, so the first stock I will cover is Gtronic. I think I posted, I saw this pattern quite some time ago, broke out and continued, then pulled back since the 1.71 resistance. Okay, if you look at this candle, maybe I will just try and add a bit of educational stuff when I do a review, see whether that's helpful or not lah. Okay, you guys can comment and say whether you prefer this or not. Okay, so if you this is a bit too big now, we just use the highlighter lah. Okay, this candle over here is actually a typical shooting star candle, which means if you look at it in a logical manner, maybe easy to understand. The candle opened over here, ran up to here, and then got sold down back over here. So if you think about it, a candle opens here and then runs up to 1.71 from like 1.6 and then gets sold down, you can safely assume that there is quite a lot of sellers lah to be able to drag the stock back down, okay, after quite a huge price increase. So this candle will tell you that there are a lot of sellers over here, and you will have quite a resistance lah. Okay, the resistance I think is about this zone, which was formed in 2021. Okay, so there was quite a heavy resistance over there. Then it got dragged down here. It literally gapped down because of the earnings. I think earnings, yes, cut dividend as profit drops lah. Okay, so it came down, but now it's slowly climbing higher. Okay, so what I like about Gtronic is that after this correction, this pullback over here, which is quite heavy lah, from the high to the low is about 23%. Okay, the volume has been quite low, has been quite quiet, and on breakout days like this, the volume is a bit higher lah, slightly higher compared to the normal pullback days. So as of currently, you can see that these down candles, these few days, has been on low volume. Okay, you will need to see whether it's able to break out from this level of about 1.61, which was the most recent resistance created from this higher high formation and higher low, while the support will be here lah. Okay, 1.41. Okay, the support will be here, 1.41. Let me just add it in. 1.49. Okay, the support will be at 1.49 because you can see the stock has actually come to 1.49 and got rebounded twice. 1.41 also happens to be the previous resistance over here. Okay, where the stock managed to break out, then hovered around here, then broke out, continued. Okay, so currently your resistance is at, this gap is kind of covered already. Okay, so we can remove this. This is a continuation from last week's chart, and the new resistance will be at 1.61 now. Okay, we wait to see whether the stock hits here, comes down, does a small nice cup correction before it goes higher lah. Okay, so then the next stock will be DSS. DSS is also forming higher lows. Okay, from a very heavy downtrend since IPO started. So if you look at here, it was literally like this. Okay, so then if you look at it, you will notice that it was like down here, and then reach here, it didn't form a new low, then it was sideways quite some time, and then now it's kind of attempting to break out lah. Okay, if you look at it in a further manner, it looks more like a rounding bottom. Okay, from here round until here, then probably form a cup here before attempting to break out. Okay, but that's like a bit further from April 23. If you look at it in a more focused kind of view, you will see that it came back down. You know, this is the first one, came up, then came back down, came up, came back down. It's more like, you know, forming higher highs and higher lows lah. But in this case, this higher high, higher low, but there's no higher high. Okay, this acted as a resistance line, 0.415. 0.415 also happens to be a resistance line for multiple occasions. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the 9th time only it broke out. Okay, so it has tested the resistance line many times. And what's nice is actually this is not a good candle. This is similar to like Gtronic. So you have to wait and see whether it's going to go down or not. But what's nice to see is there is a support over here, 0.415, which happens to be the previous resistance line. Okay, so we will have to wait and see whether it's able to do something like this. Okay, it break out something like this. Okay, then form something like this. Okay, we will have to wait and see whether it happens or not lah. Okay, so it will happen. It will coincidentally, like, it will be something like this also. Okay, I mean, it can be lah. Okay, this is just like what I can see lah. It may happen. Okay, Okay, next is Pharma. I think over here Pharma got sold down badly because of the earnings. I think something about the vaccines not being sold and stuff like that, which caused it to wash down badly. And actually I think there are a lot of people who collected here 22 cents, because actually if you look at Pharma is used to be quite an expensive stock. Okay, they had a share split over here 5-1. Okay, before that Pharma was actually quite expensive lah. So it's kind of a big cap stock. Okay, we can see shares flow is about 694 million, market cap is about 698 million, about 700 million. That is at 48 cents. So imagine if it was at like 150, it will be like double. Okay, so since the heavy sell down from here, actually you see it is on an uptrend lah. Okay, it is going up higher. Okay, slowly going higher, and at the moment it managed to break the resistance of 0.47 last week. Okay, but there is quite a lot of resistance faced by the stock lah. Okay, have about 51 cents. You see there's sellers here, there's also sellers. So I assume that the stock will go through a pullback first before going higher. Okay, but it is still on an uptrend. Okay, so at the moment we will wait to see whether 0.47 will become a previous resistance, turn into support or not, because this was the breakout level. Okay, the support level for support 1 will still be 0.42, and the second support level will be 0.35. Okay, maybe Pharma Niaga is turning profitable again. I'm not so sure. Okay, but the chart looks quite good for this stock. Okay, next is MSM. MSM is doing well. Okay, if we look at the trend, it is doing well. It is slowly going higher and higher. But the sell down is a bit scary lah. Okay, so it went up very high here, then it pulled back, and then it went up here. This was a kind of a gap up. Okay, it closed at 1.39 and opened at 1.43, ran up to 1.48 and got washed down. Okay, so the current support for this pattern should be about 1.28. Okay, it will be about 1.28 level, while it's slowly forming another base lah. Okay, so we have to see next week whether the stock is going to break out or not. Okay, or it will just, there are possibilities of the stock going something like this, sorry, like this, and then go higher. Okay, or there is also a possibility that it comes down like this and then goes down, goes down, goes down. Okay, just remember, stocks don't move in one line lah. Okay, they are always they kind of always move in zigzag manner, so we will have to wait and see whether it's able to break out and continue or not. Okay, stock market is a lot about patience lah. Okay, you find the correct point, you wait until it comes, and you know, you place your bet lah. Okay, so you have to be patient with whichever point that you have taken. If you have picked that point, you just wait until you get it lor. Oh, okay. Okay, oh yeah, and also please don't chase lah. Okay, don't when you see, you know, like the other day MSM, you know, break out here, you know, gap up here, and then it broke 1.44, then you go and chase, and then you're like, you know, I must get the stock because it's going to go to the sky, but you know, ended up it came back down. And then the worst thing is when it comes back down, then you tell yourself, no, it's a very good stock, it's, you know, it's going to come back. Not every stock will come back lah. Okay, so we give you an example of, let's say, MSM itself. If let's say it turned bullish over here at 56 cents and it ran up to about 2 ringgit last time. Okay, you can see here, actually here got a lot of people trapped. You can see that shooting star over here. Okay, so you imagine if let's say, you know, it broke up from it ran up here, you don't let enter, then it ran up here, you also very need to chase, you know, stuff like that. Then it continue going higher, you see 3 bars, you are like, oh, I think the stock will never stop. Okay, it's time to go in already. And then you buy, then you know it comes down and you start telling yourself like, no, this stock is very good fundamentally, you know, it's going to come back, you know. Then the stock continues going down until about like 67 cents, and your price is about like 185, so you have lost like about 60-70%, you know. Then it's a bit hard to recover lah, you know. Not every stock will recover until like MSM, you know. Like if you see gloves, it's still quite some time before they can recover. So you have just don't chase lah, just don't be emotional. Okay, next stock will be Tunepro. Quite interesting. Okay, judging by capital A and AAX doing well, I think capital A is not really following AAX footsteps yet. Okay. Tunepro had a very nice multiple cup formation, VCP formation over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it failed. Okay, it literally failed and broke down all of the supports throughout the whole VCP, and it started climbing up from here. I assume if you change the indicator of moving average to EMA, it will hit this line lah. It will hit 0.35. Okay, nevertheless, that's in the past. So what I see here is like it attempted to break out from 0.47, it couldn't, then it's now forming a cup over here. Okay, so the support for Tunepro at the moment will be 44 cents, while the resistance will be 47 cents. Okay, so not bad lah, quite nice. Okay, so this is the support lah. You see it has rebounded from 44 cents twice. Okay, next will be Sptoto. I'm not so sure whether it's Sharia or not for any Muslim friends which are watching, but I don't track whether the stock is Sharia or not. Okay, so I'm so sorry on that. This one also kind of VCP formation. Okay, you can see that there is a resistance over here, a very obvious one. Every time you attempt break a bit, then come back down, break a bit, then come back down. Okay, on the other hand, when it goes through cups, it's like one cup, second cup is smaller, then the third cup is quite similar lah. Okay, so this is another VCP formation. What is interesting is that the breakout days volume is pretty high. Okay, here high volume, here high volume. Okay, here attempted to break out once, failed, then attempt again, high volume, fail again, then next day quite low volume, came back, correction, blah 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 blah, came back here, want to break out again, high volume, next day high volume also but fail, drop down badly. I think shares flow quite high. Okay, then come back, correction again, want to break out again, high volume, still fail, come back down. Okay, then build a very quiet base over here for the past 4 trading days. Okay, and then there's high volume again. Okay, so it's kind of like keep attempting to break out from 1.55, which is a good thing lah. Okay, so it's a stock to monitor. Next is Ranhill. Ranhill is quite interesting lah. It has actually been uptrending since August last year. Okay, but I don't think everyone would have noticed the stock, because Ranhill is not you know, a lot of people like stocks which are fast, very fast, like you just buy and it will fly. Ranhill is quite slow and steady lah, if you ask me. Okay, so it formed the first high here, then it broke down here. Okay, then it has slowly actually gone up. It has actually been creating higher highs and higher lows for the past 1 year. Okay, this channel kind of never really broke out from the channel lah. Okay, so I think it's quite solid. Okay, and the volume recent days, this high breakout volume, then followed by low volume lah on the next days, and on Friday it's kind of a bullish engulfing candle with no wicks on top and below, so it's quite good lah. Okay, so we wait and see whether is this really going to become a support. Okay, this was the previous resistance. You can see here, try to break out, cannot fail, then breakout, managed to break out here with very high volume. Okay, so we wait to see whether this resistance will become the new support or not. Okay, next is Farm Fresh. I think Farm Fresh recent quarter report is not very good. Okay, but I think there is news lah saying it's set to improve and stuff like that. Okay, so if you look at the chart, it's like it got washed down quite badly. This one was from quarter report, this one was from I don't know why. Then it's forming like a cup formation, one, then break out already, come back here, come back here. Okay, so currently your support will be about here, 1.19. Okay, which I think happened 1 day after the quarter report. Not bad lah. After quarter report, it has actually managed to climb back to when it was before the quarter report. So your current actual resistance now will be between this level, 1.26 to 1.28. Just put it at 1.28 first, while your support will be at 1.18 now. Okay, this one can remove lah. Okay, next is Bjfood. This one also quarter report came washed down badly, but actually if you really look at it, it has been downtrend before the quarter report was released lah. Okay, so like they say, stock market move in advance, and also stock market discounts everything. This is one example of it lah. So before the quarter report came out, the stock has already been on downtrend, indicating that maybe the quarter report won't be good. Okay, so came down, wash out already, kind of quite stable now in my opinion. Okay, you can see the volume is quite dry. Okay, and he attempted to break out from 705 few times, multiple times also failed, but it's still correcting and didn't break out from the base lah. Okay, so looks like it's good. Okay, looks good. We will have to wait and see whether he is able to break out from 0.705 or not lah. Okay. Okay. Before I start covering on Ataims, I just want to highlight that the quarter report for Ataims is not good. Okay, the profit is still negative compared to what they were doing years ago. I think this was mainly due to Dyson's contract with them. Okay, comparatively, I also have VS and SKPRES. Okay, which I will bring it up now. I'll just review one shot. Okay, I think compared to VS and SKPRES, they are doing much better. Okay, quarterly profit attributable, this is profit. SKPRES, profit also. Okay, only Ataims is loss. Okay, because they don't have the contract from Dyson anymore. However, if you look at the three EMS counter charts, I think PIE is also EMS if I'm not wrong. I'll just include them. I'm not so sure. I think it's also EMS lah. Okay, so if you look at all the three charts, okay, let's include PI as well, PIE. All these three are actually correcting last week. Okay, the only one quite strong compared is Ataims. Okay, chart wise, not fundamental wise, chart wise. So the support here is quite obvious, 335. Okay, hit 3 times and didn't flinch lah. Okay, and 2 days was on low volume, 3rd day high volume, but the attempt is because he attempted to break out lah. Okay, so previous resistance was about here, 355. Okay, and current new one will be about 360 lah, but I think it's about there one lah. Okay, let's go smaller chart. Okay, during the final hours only attempted to break lah. Okay, but didn't break. Okay, this one the support will be at 335 and the resistance will be at 355 lah. Okay, whereas for SKPRES, you see this base is like it's quite straightforward. You know, one cup like here, breakout, then continue, and the support is right here, 3 days straight on the same price. Okay, whereas for SKPRES, if you look at it, the previous one it rallied, then it kind of consolidated at like 1.03. You know, like that's definitely going to be the support, and then it broke down to 1 ringgit, and then it came back up 1 ringgit. Oh, okay, yeah, and then it came back up and closed at 1.03. Okay, so this may be a washout. Okay, washout meaning people who already know where is the support, they want to see how strong your holding power is, they wash you out and go few bits below the support. Okay, so for those who are using trailing stop losses, you will be washed out. Okay, so that is what a washout is lah. This may just be a washout, and then it comes back to the resistance, to the support of about 1.03. Okay, so this may just become the new support. Okay, at 1. Okay, and then for VS, it's also quite similar, just that there isn't a washout for now. Okay, so VS kind of like went through some corrections over here, then the support currently is at 1 ringgit. Okay, it's at 1. So you see whether this place supports or not lah. Okay, it's not coming back down to the previous resistance yet. We don't know what will happen next week. Okay, it may just become like this, then go higher, or you can just like, you know, like this, come back then go back down. It is possible. Okay, but if you talk about the chart wise, technical wise, Ataims is much better lah. Okay, and then PIE, it didn't really break out in tandem lah. Okay, but it's still like gonna go higher. Okay, okay, this is about a 7% pullback. So if you look at it, it's like coming down here, then attempting to go create a handle, then break out lah. Okay. But I don't think the pullback will be so short lah. It won't be until like one day pullback straight go up back. Usually that don't happen on fundamentally solid stocks lah. Okay, unless you suddenly come and tell me COVID happens for just 1 week okay, then it will be something like COVID time, it crash and it gave you a V pullback lah. Okay, so we can just have a look at COVID time. I think it's about here. Okay, so if you look at this during COVID time, you know, it just went down. The next day one candle came and it just continued going up. Okay, so it's not often that this happens to every time it happens lah. Okay, or it's not often this happens also lah. Okay, where you crash down then wow, straight go up. Okay, and even for this also, even when it comes up, it still has to consolidate for a few days. So usually pullbacks will take some time lah. Okay, it won't be one day and you assume like, oh, finish pullback already. Usually it doesn't lah. Okay, usually it takes more time. So we will just have to wait and see. Next stock will be IGM. Personally, I think IGM's chart is still quite good. Okay, the support at 1.75 seems solid, even though I thought it will be 1.74. This is last week's one. Okay, the support at 1.74 seems pretty solid, even though I assume that the support will be at 1.75. It broke out one. It may also be a washout candle, just like what happened in SKPRES. It's like literally you come down, form the thing, then you purposely come down 1-2 bits just to wash out those with trailing stop losses. Okay, so the resistance remains at 1.86, while the support is at 1.74 lah. Okay, MRCB real estate one. The resistance hasn't changed. Okay, I picked 0.52. I felt 0.52 is resistance because of the past. Okay, but it seems like it didn't reach 0.52 and resistance is about 0.51 to 0.515 lah. Okay, since hitting there, you like, okay, again this candle, okay, this is not a good candle lah. Okay, for educational purpose, this is not a good candle. I'm not telling you that the moment you see this candle you have to do something. No, it's just a bad candle lah. Okay, you still have to monitor to see what happens. And then it actually came down quite a lot lah. Okay, seems to be building base at 0.44. Seems to have kind of like a settled its pullback over here, 0.44. Okay, previous support is at 0.43. So if let's say it does settle at 0.44 and it starts going back up, then it's kind of like it's building a higher low and a higher high. Okay, so something to look out for. MRCB, I think the trend has been quite strong. Okay, and then profit revenue still decline lah. Okay, but still like got make money lah. Okay, property sector I think will be hot in next year or the year to come lah. Okay, there should be quite a spike in prices lah. Okay, for those who are interested to invest in properties, I think it's quite a good time. But we will keep that slot for some other time lah. If anyone is interested, you can just comment down there or send me a message. Then maybe we can talk about it. But we will just keep this to stock market lah. Okay. And then the next one is HIAPTEK, steel counter. I think steel's trend is not bad, quite good. But this counter kind of tops them lah. Okay. Up days candle, green days has been on much higher volume compared to the red candle days. The pullback distance is also not very far. Okay, it's not to say like MRCB is like super far. Okay, you see MRCB is like reach 515, then pull back straight until 44 cents. Okay, that one pull back far lah. Okay, whereas for HIAPTEK is like small stairs is building, which is actually good. Okay, you have a lot of space to know where is your support and resistance lah. Okay, so currently I think HIAPTEK did another washout as well, but you will always expect washouts during a bad day, okay, in the market. For example, I think Friday was not a very active day. It was more of like a washout. I think few days or so it has been about like that. Okay, I don't know whether the Johor elections are affecting it or not. It may be a factor, it may not lah. Okay, so it's something to just look out for next week. We see whether the market is good or not. But like I said in the earlier indices summary, I don't really see the US market that good yet lah. Okay, so HIAPTEK, I think my support and resistance stays the same. Maybe you can amend this support over to 0.42, and then the resistance is still at 0.45, and the last one, the resistance will be at 0.475 lah. Okay. Okay, for this week's chart, I have included SAMCHEM. Okay, SAMCHEM has tested support at 0.51 many times, and it has not broken through. Okay, you need to take note of one thing. When a support or resistance is tested too many times, it will eventually break. Okay, it can break down, it can break out, it can break down. Okay, you just need to remember. For example, okay, you are trying to break your house ceiling lah. Okay, you want to attempt to break it. Okay, you hit one time, then another time, you hit many times, eventually you will make a hole in it. Okay, same as a base. If you keep stomping the base, you know, many times you stomp, it will eventually create a hole and it will break through. Okay, it's similar to support and resistance. Okay, you can see that it has tested the support like what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 times, and it has not broken. Okay, it has to make a decision on where it wants to move soon, because it has not created a higher high. Okay, but what is interesting in SAMCHEM now is you look at the volume over here. This is not the right one. Brush. Okay, you look at the volume over here, it's like about here, but here the volume has been higher. Okay, here your volume is always about 100, 200, this is a high one, then 90 something, but here consistently your volume is 200, 200, 300, 400, you know, so there is some volume coming into the counter. Okay, it may mean that the trend is going to change soon. Okay, I give you an example. Example, NTPM. Okay, NTPM was quiet for the longest time from here, December 2022, right until April 2023. Okay, and then you see volume started coming in here. Okay, volume increase here, and here volume is a bit higher compared to the previous times. Okay, all these times you see volume is higher. Okay, so when the volume is higher, it means there are people coming in. Volume represents buyers and sellers. Okay, so when volume started coming in, you can see here very high volume, then another high volume came up here, and then it came back down. Then you see now the volume is same as before. Okay, so it may mean there is something coming lah for SAMCHEM. Okay, so I'm just highlighting this to you guys. Okay, next will be TTVHB. This is a tech counter. Okay, for TTVHB, what I like about the chart is that it hit exactly at the previous resistance and rebounded, which is 1.18. Okay, so it has been kind of sideways for quite some time lah. Okay, sideways like this, but here is kind of like building higher lows. Okay, and then a super long candle over here, kind of a breakout, a strong breakout lah. Okay, the volume tallies with the length of the candle. Okay, and then it came down over here, and then it rebounded from 1.18. Okay, so this will no longer become a resistance. This will be a new support lah. Okay, this is literally a support turned into resistance. Okay, so this is good. Okay, and the new resistance will be here lah, 1.31, which also tallies with the March resistance. Okay, so like I said in the previous which one PIE, it won't be something like this. It won't be like, it's quite rare that you will see a V. So most likely it will be like this, then sorry, maybe like this, you know, slowly they'll come up lah. Okay, I mean I don't know how long it will take, but usually it will kind of like form a cup lah. Okay, it won't literally just jump out. Okay, so that's TTVHB. Then next is RAMSSOL. I think the stock only gained attention when Top Gloves owner started buying into the stock. Okay, which was literally this day lah. Okay, then it started spiking up and stuff like that. So it has rallied like this. Okay, and if let's say 39 cents is the new support, then yes, it will be good because it's forming higher lows now. Okay, the resistance is clearly at 43 cents, attempted 2 days and failed, and then the support is at 39 cents lah. Okay, so we will wait to see. What's interesting is the volume on selling days is quite low lah. Okay, and the volume for the past 2 days at the base is also quite low. That means usually it means there's not so much sellers anymore lah. Okay, so we wait to see where it will go next week lah. Okay, okay, SFPTECH. This is like a kind of like a darling stock for Bursa in the past year. Okay, because it only has one direction lah. Okay, it doesn't have two directions. Okay, since coming out in like 19 cents is like now what, 1 ringgit. Anyone who was holding it during IPO literally has 1000% profit. And I think there are some people who really held it that long lah. Okay, but I think since the stock announced stock split is not so good anymore lah. Okay, it jumped up very high, then came back down, broke that high, then you know never really had a breakout from there, then kind of going down lah. So if you actually look at it, this is like up, then come down, up, down, then this is like flattening lah. Okay, so we await to see whether will this become a new base for the stock or not. So if it does, the base will be about here lah, 0.98 to 0.99, this zone. You can see here also got support. Okay, about this zone, and then you have resistances at like 1.04 and mainly here is 1.04 lah. Okay, and I think it's having some difficulty breaking out. So I will wait to see this week whether it will sustain about here or not lah. But the support looks to be quite firm at 0.98 now. Coincidentally also this level, this resistance. Okay, next stock is TM. Big cap stock lah, market cap 19.87 billion, shares float also 2.357 billion. It won't be easy to move up or down for this stock, but okay, it is kind of like in a downtrend. Okay, if you look at it, it's kind of like a downtrend, something like this, far from downtrend line still. But if you look at it in a shorter time frame, it's kind of going to break out from here lah, 5.2. Okay, it's kind of going to break out from 5.2. Looking good because the volume here is quite low, and then the subsequent days volume pretty high. So monitor lah. Okay, the resistance is definitely here, which he attempted to break but didn't, and the support is here lah. Okay, next is AZRB. Okay, I don't know how many times have I said interesting lah, but this one look not bad lah. I don't think it's a well-known kind of stock, like, you know, it's not as well-known as most of the other stocks that I reviewed just now. But you can see this, yes, this is a higher low. Sorry, this is a lower high. But you can also see here there's a higher low lah. Okay, so it's kind of like this in this triangle over here. But it's already attempting to break out from the downtrend line 4 times. Okay, and it has only hit support like what, 3 times maybe. So it's nice to see when a stock is attempting to break out more times than it is attempting to break the support lah. So if let's say the stock is able to keep testing this level, and then you see this level is like of high volume, okay, so there are a lot of people who are actually trying to push the stock to break lah. Okay, if let's say this continues, you may see a breakout in this stock. Okay, so just monitor this downtrend line. The current resistance will be at 26.5, while your support will be at about 23.5 lah. Okay, similar to most other stocks, this stock is also in downtrend lah. You can see from here. Okay, from 1 ringgit it's about 26 cents now, 75% down. Okay, next it will be AYS. Okay, nice trend. Okay, even though you may not be able to notice it, you can actually see from here. Okay, it is uptrend. Okay, it's always creating a higher high and a higher low. Okay, So from this, you can actually see the stock is in an uptrend lah. Okay, correction days quite low on volume. Even this red days quite low on volume. Your current, it seems like it's attempting to, you know, get support at 0.42. Okay, it's been down for 3 days. Even this one, it closed at 0.42 flat. Okay, this was the previous kind of like a high of the base lah. Okay, so at the moment, we can assume that 0.42 is the support. And if let's say 0.42 is not the support, then it will most likely be here, 0.395. Okay, and your resistance will be about here. Okay, 0.44. Okay. Okay, GHM. Actually, I think last time when DNO was hot, I watched the DNO and GHM comparison before, and they did mention that DNO is much better lah. The stock price does say that DNO is like kind of better because DNO is now like what, 3 ringgit 60 cents, whereas GHM is like about 80 cents. Okay, but I don't know like in detail how the business works and differ lah. Okay, so if we look at the chart, GHM seems to be forming higher lows. Okay, hasn't formed a new higher high yet, but the higher lows are there. Okay, let's see what's the recent quarter report. Profit lah. Okay, literally in these times, anyone who is able to post a profit report is considered quite good already lah. Okay, so you can see it's kind of consolidating over here, and it's attempting to break out the resistance over here lah of 82 cents. Okay, and the support, we have to wait for the support, for it to build a new support lah. Currently there is no new support yet. The support will still be here, 76.5 cents. Okay, so most probably it will like build a higher low before attempting to break out lah. Okay, then second last stock will be WELLCAL. I think this stock is strong. Okay, I think fundamentally also is strong. WELLCAL hikes dividend as profit rises in fiscal quarter 3. Okay, this is here, and since then it has literally ran up like, I don't know, about 17.5% lah. Okay, it's doing good business, it's earning, it's profitable, so hike dividend, which is a good thing lah. Okay, because company is earning more money, so they are just giving back to the shareholders. At the moment, I assume that it will come back for a pullback, but the pullback has been on a relatively low volume. Okay, whether it will come back to retest the 5-year high at about 1.38, we never know lah. Okay, but the current support is at 1.38, while the resistance currently will be at 1.46 lah. Okay, and the last counter for me to review is HIBISCS. ONG counter, quite dependent on what happens to the oil price. Okay, but HIBISCS seems to be able to maintain the rally quite well. Okay, previous resistance is about 0.99. It only came to about 1 ringgit and then rebounded already. Okay, and as of now it's testing 1.03 as a new support, because if you look back at about April, that was a resistance. Okay, and about here March is also a resistance, then here previously it was a support. So it's quite likely going to test this 1.03 level before it decides which direction it's going to go to lah. Okay, so that will be all for my watch list review for the coming week, 11 September week. Generally, I think it's quite safe if we just watch what happens to the market first lah. Okay, because I don't really see the market being so bullish. It looks quite like, you know, half. On days there will be bullishness, on days there will be bearishness. Okay, you have to be more cautious lah. Okay, I think mainly is because it's not sure whether an economic recession will take place. US seems to be having a bit of difficulty to hit the inflation level of 2%. So there may be more rate hikes coming. Okay, when rate hikes come, dollar value increases. Okay, and if Malaysia don't increase their OPR, then your ringgit will continue dropping against the US dollar. Okay, so that's what's that's one of the reasons lah, other than our own economic status. So in the coming week, I think it's safer to monitor and see how the market reacts first, especially to the elections that are taking place in Johor today lah, in I think Pulai, for the state and also parliament seat lah. Okay, we will have to see how the market actually reacts. If the market reacts as bullish, then it will be good. You know, it's time to earn something. If it's bearish, then cash is always king lah. It's always better to not enter a downtrending stock than to actually hold something, then you know keep losing, and you keep telling yourself like no, it's a good counter, you come back up. Okay, it's not a nice feeling lah. Okay, so you need to see what happens in the market next week first lah. Broken already, which is good lah. Okay, so that will be all for my review this week. Do remember, if let's say you do need a real-time AI robot to actually update you and tell you what's happening to the stock and stuff like that, you can always register via the link that I have pinned inside the Telegram group. So you can actually see this is one of my pinned messages, and you can register it over here. It's basically registering for an M+ account. I'm not the remiser. My remiser is the one doing it lah. Okay, but it's actually very helpful for you to actually know whether the stock that you have chosen or decided to put into watch list is actually breaking up or breaking down. Just to recap, okay? For example, if let's say
you can actually go over to the Telegram page.
Let me open the group. If let's say you are looking at, where's the group? Here. So if let's say you are looking at like the other day, MSM, okay? So you can actually see like from here at 11:21, MSM broke 15 minutes support. Then REF is the price reference, which is 1.3, and then subsequently at 3:13 it broke 1.29, and then at 3:33 it broke 1.28. so usually if let's say it breaks 15 minutes support, it's already quite bad lah. Okay, and then if you were to look at something that you know is breaking out, like for example AX, but this one I think got more breakdown. I can't really use this. Wait, let's try capital A. Okay, you can see like capital A here is breakdown 0.915, and then is 0.91, and then 0.905 is already the third one. So kind of continued lah. Okay, you can see it is continuing the next day, and then Friday is like going up, then came back down again. So it kind of give you like an awareness lah. Okay, VS also I think is quite good. Okay, you can see like on Wednesday it broke 0.995, it continued breaking 1.02, and then 1.03, and then 1.05. so like I mentioned, if let's say there's more than 2, it's usually something you should be taking note of lah, which I think it's quite good. You will be aware of actually what's happening while you're at work. You know, you just pop out your phone and see what's the notification and stuff like that, then you will know actually what's happening. So that will be all. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it benefited you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.